Hello, this is Grandma Jan from Red Toad Art Studio, and today I am going to try to do another collage, something like my last one, which was the big yellow flower with the wedding couple. I'm going to try the same steps, which is pick a background first, and then I'm going to pick a large flower to put on top of it, and then some images to go with that. And today I'm going to start with Collage Soup Fundamentals. Now, it's not supposed to specifically be a book of backgrounds, but the best things in it, I think, are their backgrounds. They have one main picture and then a background on the back of it. But you know, I like the backgrounds better than the main pictures. So I will probably use this book a lot for its backgrounds, and it has all kinds in here. But leafing through it, one just struck me as being, well, beautiful, and it can go all kinds of ways. So the first thing I need to do is cut this background out and get our craft knife and just run as far down here as we can. Now, I could copy this, but I don't want to. I'll just buy me a new book when I want more backgrounds. And then I need to even this edge up. Isn't that a pretty background? I just love that. And then I want to mount this on I think a black piece of paper. Cardstock. My black paper pad. Trim it up. And the first thing we need to do is glue this on. And obviously I will lose one picture by using it. That's the way it is with all these books that have pictures on two sides. We have to choose a side. That's just like life, isn't it? We have to choose a side. And what if we like both sides? Here we go. Now we just want to glue the end of this, because if we glue the whole picture, it'll be dry before it gets down, and it's hard to get it down straight. So let's just put 2 or 3 inches of glue on there. And here we go. It's not a big frame. Just like that. Press out any wrinkles or bubbles. And then we come up to where we glued and add 2 or 3 more inches of glue. Be sure you come up to that area where there was glue on it, or you'll get a big old bubble there. Be sure you cover all the areas well. If you don't get glue on a certain spot, that's where a bubble will form. And also try not to get clumps. And that's where a mountain will form. Mountains and valleys. So let's run our picture, our background down. Press it from the top down. Be sure there's no bubbles in it. And then finish gluing your page. Be sure you got it up there. And come down. pressing hard and getting rid of all the wrinkles. If we get a wrinkle in it at this stage, we'll live with that wrinkle, most likely live with that wrinkle for the life of the picture. Because one on the base is going to show through everything else. So we have to be extra careful. At this point, if there's any wrinkles in it, be sure you've worked them out. And brayering does a good job of flattening things. There we go. Now the next step is to find our flower. I'm going to use the Beautiful Flowers book. And there's several in here. I want to match this kind of rose colored. And I want the hearts to keep showing. Now I didn't intend for this to be a romantic picture, but it may turn out that way with the hearts. What I really like is the city back here. And I want the most of the city here to show, that can show, and keep my picture going. So let's look through and see what we have. I picked out a few that had the right color. Let's see how we can get all these in here. You can see this is the right color, but I feel like there's too much flower. It'll cover up a lot of the picture. I don't think I'll use that, so I'll eliminate that one. And this is pretty, but again, it's so big, so I won't use that one, I don't think. Now this one's kind of interesting. It has the rosy color and a little bit of green. There's not a lot of green in this. There's some green up there. But again, there's a lot to this, and I think this flower may come up and partially hide my hearts. I don't remember seeing. Oh yes, this is a runner-up. It's the right color. It's not so big that it should hide too much of the city or hide my hearts. So that's a runner-up for me. And it will be easy to cut. That factors in big time. Let's see, what else was the right color? This one was the right color. But again, it's going to cover up my hearts. And it's big. So let's eliminate that one. What else did I find in the right color? There's all kinds of colors in here. There's a lot of yellows and blues, purples. And those colors might go, it just, I don't know. Here's one that's really pretty, and I think it would go pretty with this, although it might cover that. But you know what the deciding factor in this was? All of these spaces that I have to fussy cut. And you know what? I don't want to fussy cut today that much. So out it goes. What else was there? This is beautiful. But I think maybe a little bit too feminine for the grungy look of my background. It might be a good contrast. But I might consider that seriously, except it's going to come right over my hearts, which I don't want to lose. So there goes that one. I think the choice is being made. And here's another pretty one, but again, right over my hearts. Right color, but not in the right spot. And there was other pretty ones in here. I have considered purple and yellow, and that one might be a possibility. But right now I'm looking for that rose color. Now this one would actually go in there pretty good. Not cover my hearts. It would cover this, which I really rather not. But again, I looked at that and looked at fussy cutting all these tiny little stems. Not for me. Have I got anything else? Oh, I picked one purple one. This would be pretty in there. There's not really any purple, but you can get a feeling of purple. There might be a little purple. See, up here at the top. but not too much. And this will cover almost everything. So out it goes. But I did consider it. And I think our winner is this one. So I'm going to fussy cut this picture, and I will be with you as soon as I'm done. All right, I am back. I have fussy cut my flower. I haven't inked it yet. And I think it's going to fit in something like that. It'll leave my hearts there. I can put it up, but then I lose some of this, and I lose the bottom heart. So I think it will be about like that, and I'll cut the bottom off. I'm not sure yet, so I'm not cutting it yet. What I need to do next is ink it, and I want to explain that a little bit. If you have a darker ink, mine is Vintage Photo. And I just go around the edges. You can see, maybe if you look at it up close, how there's like little tannish or white edges where I've cut and not been as close as I should have been. If I go over that with something like vintage ink just on the edge, it takes that white color off. And I do that with almost all of my images. It's kind of subtle. You'll never know it's there, but you'll know if it's not there. Just all the way around. Be careful not to tear any little leaves or anything off while you're doing this. See, look what I did there. That's not good, but it will straighten back up. I was lucky it didn't tear. It depends on how strong the paper is. And right there is one of the spots that needs to be covered especially. And then on these little guys, oops, that covers several up, and then along the green. Now, can you see how well that covered up? Probably not on the camera, but it did cover it up well. It's a subtle little difference, but it really makes a difference in how well it will blend into my picture. So, I have that. Now I have to find what I want to place with it. And I'm going to go through several of my books, and I'm going to start out with fundamentals and see if there's anything in there I want to use. And I will be back with you. I won't take your time with my searching, but I'll be back with you in a few minutes. I wonder about this one. It's so big. But what if these were just in the bottom portion? Cut out, and then the flower above them. I'm not sure. I looked at some others in here. There's other figures in this book, but they're all big. Or they're an animal, and I don't want to do that. But these are too big for this picture. So I'm going to go look in a couple of other books and see if this is the best idea or not. Okay, I found some other possibilities. I'm not really sure which one I want. Let's see. From the romantic idea, she would work, but she looks more like a bride that was left at the altar than one that is happy. And I think in the picture of the city, they probably eloped. Let's get off the romantic theme. She is the right colors, and she's just excited to be in New York, and she would fit right down here. Or the tourist that is having a great time taking pictures of New York. Those are some possibilities. I think she's pretty if you want to go the old-fashioned look. Or her. So I'm getting more possibilities than I know what to do with. Again, if we want to go the romantic way and go with weddings, they would look perfect. And I'm really leaning towards them, even though my other picture is a lot like this. They eloped and went to New York and got married. Let's see, what else did I have? Oh, and she could be standing there just looking up at the tall buildings. So we have those, or we have this big picture. I like that, but I think in a way that will take up so much of my picture through here, I might lose a lot of the city. So I don't know. I'm really thinking this is the one that's going to win, just because of the hearts up here. And they eloped and went to New York. So I'm going to cut that out and we'll lay it on and see what it looks like. Okay, I have cut 2 of the pictures out that I was considering, which was the couple that were just married. Let's get this up here where you can see them better. And they would be about there. I would finish cutting them out, obviously. And I need some other things. I don't know, something to put in these other areas. Or this woman who has come into New York and is just awestruck by the tall skyscrapers. I have those 2. And I can't get away from these. Maybe I should cut these out and we'll see what they look like. Well, I think I've totally changed my mind. I really like this couple in front of this cityscape. I don't know. I have a spot to cut out here, and it comes just short of hitting the side here, and I would need to cut off more here. But what if this flower went up right here and covered the gap? It wouldn't be the whole flower. Although, I guess we could cut that leaf off. Or put it behind him. And then it could cover the gap. We might do that. I don't know. But I'm going to cut that out, and I need to shorten this so it comes up in the picture, and then we'll figure it out about the flower. Let's see. I've cut out that. Now I need to bring this up even with the bottom. There we go. Now, I'm actually having second thoughts about this flower. It's a beautiful flower, and I can keep it to use in something later. But it just, it doesn't seem to fit. I think some pretty flower to come down in here might be the best bet. So, I'm going to go looking again. I'll be back. Now, I'm back. I cut this flower out, and an extra little leaf that was on the flower to cover that gap between his shoulder and the edge, and then the flower will go there. I don't know if I'll use this other little bud. It might be pretty right here. So I'll cut it out and try that, and I need to ink around the edges, and then we'll come back and glue things down. Alright, I've cut the little flower out. It would go there, and I can't decide if I want to keep it or not. I'll have to think about that one. Now, I'm going to go, as I say, ink everything and think on a title a bit. I forgot to record. Yes, I didn't get record on, but I cut this flower out. I cut one of the leaves off. I glued it, and then put it right here. And I think I'm going to leave those leaves on in case there's room in the frame to leave them hanging out. I think that might look neat. Now I need something up here like a title, and I'm going to go look for that and hope I don't forget to hit record again. I have this family sticker pack, family phrases. Together we make a family. That would be a good one. Up there, I guess somewhere. Or I thought we may not have it all together, but together we have it all. One of those should be my title. There is no place like home. They're not home. They're in New York. And they eloped. I think together we make a family. What will be neat about these is just the printing shows. There we go. Together we make a family. And I think we are finished. I enjoyed making that with you, and I hope you enjoyed it and that inspired you how to start out. Just pick one thing, add a thing, and keep adding to it until you're happy with the picture. And I hope you have a great crafting day, and I will see you at my next video. So, bye-bye for now.